I'm gonna show you the best and probably the safest strategy to make money in cryptocurrencies. And this is a chart of Bitcoin, and the reason we keep coming back to this chart is because this chart dictates the direction of the cryptocurrency markets. And for instance, when this chart goes up, I'd say nowadays maybe 30% of the altcoins go up, maybe 30%. But when Bitcoin goes down, 100% of the altcoins go down. So this is the difference between one and the other. So I think this is probably the safest chart the safest coin to trade out of all of them for that reason. Of course, the percentages are much lower than the altcoins. That's why we tend to buy altcoins. But the thing is, I'm going to show you one strategy you can use. It's much safer and it's going to give you equal amount of returns as well. And this chart here, the reason I like this chart is because when you come down, when you come over here and you look for Bitcoin, and you look, this is the one I'm looking for, Bitcoin all-time history index. This very one here with the trading view sign. I think this one does that as well, but I'll just use this one, Bitcoin all-time history index. And this is there are many charts of Bitcoin, but if you check this one out, and I'm going to show you why. So if you come all the way back, you can replay the price of Bitcoin since inception, since the Bitcoin was created. And this is the funniest bit, you know, I mean, once you come down here, it takes a while to scroll all the way down to 2009. You can certainly do this on a daily time frame or the weekly time frame, which shows more better details as well. So as you come back, you see the date down here, 1st of October 2009. The price of Bitcoin was way below a cent. You know, with 1 cent you could have bought 10 Bitcoins. Imagine that. So if you just grab up the calculator and you make 21 million times 0.001, the market cap of Bitcoin upon launching was 21,000. You know, there are meme coins launching for a lot more money than this every minute these days. But this was the market cap, and the funny thing is not all of them were up in circulation. I think there was only a small percentage that were in circulation and people were mining it. So the market cap would have been, I'd say, probably 2 to 3,000, maybe 3,000. Imagine Bitcoin market cap was around 3,000. So if you can find something that can replicate this would be a money making machine, but it's just difficult. I don't think there is something that's going to replicate this anytime soon. You know, there are coins going up and down, but not like this. So actually come back to this chart and play this along. So what you can do, I've replayed this chart a few times and you can certainly see the movements from Bitcoin. And this is why I say this is the best chart there is on cryptocurrencies, and this is the safest way to make money on these coins, on cryptocurrencies. So for instance, when you come over here, this is where we are. And another thing, I've showed this on X the other day. So as you can see, last year, this was August 2003, Bitcoin was over here, it was the bottom. Then what happened here, Bitcoin raised for a bit, and then in September and October it started taking off. September was quite low, and then October started taking off, and this is where we are right now. Obviously this was people were speculating about the ETF coming out, but now the biggest gains should be made over here. And this is where we are. For instance, this is we were over here 4 years ago, and this is somewhere where we are right now. Right now, market retraced a little bit. We are somewhere around here, just above 50k, 59k to be precise. And this is what I'm saying. You know, this is where it's bound to happen. From here, quite possibly, if you grab a Fibonacci from bottom to the top, Fibonacci from here to here is 160, the 61.18. I don't normally use Fibonacci, but this is quite possible. It's quite possible it's going to go around 160, 200 or something like that. Obviously, but and this is where I'm going to show you my strategy. When you go back to the chart, So this is what I do, you know, because you know, if Bitcoin goes up 100%, if you're investing like what, $2,000 or $3,000, you're not gonna make a lot. We're not gonna make a lot of money out of this, because people come to cryptocurrencies not to make 100% on their money. People come to cryptocurrencies because they want to make these kinds of moves. They want to make like these kinds of moves. Someone like this, you know, they want to make this. They want to make something like this, you know, like 100 to 100%. You know, nobody comes to crypto for this. You know, you'd stay on the stock market. You know, probably be safer assets as well. Find safer assets on the stock market. This is why you go back on the daily here. You can see where the market is. You know, so right now we're ranging. As you can see, the market has done this, you know, quite possible. It's possible that the market's still gonna come down here and do something like this. You know, you have to take everything into account, and this is not a bad time to accumulate. If the market comes there and makes another dot, because this is what the market normally does. Cryptocurrencies, they do this, and the ones who aim to buy down here, I challenge you to lose money in the cryptocurrency markets, because you're never gonna. Because if you aim to buy coins when they're doing this is where you buy the lows. And when it comes to cryptocurrencies, you don't buy breakouts. You need to buy as low as possible. And this is my rule for meme coins and every other coin I invest in as well. So this is what you do. For instance, you know, grab yourself a position size calculator, or a position tool. You can put your stop loss somewhere down here. You know, it's not necessarily stop loss, but this is what I normally do. We normally do DCA. For those who know what DCA is, dollar cost averaging. DCA, and this is how you're supposed to do it as well. Because when people speak about leverage, you know, we're gonna say, everybody will say, oh, leverage is bad, don't use leverage, you know, only degens use leverage, you know, don't use it. But if you use it on educated way, you're going to be much safer than not using at all. I mean, obviously never safer than not using, but there's a way to get around this, you know. And this is how I DCA into my Bitcoin as well. You know, I have a lot of money in most of my money is on meme coins, and they're like more than 50%, I mean about 40% of my portfolio is in Bitcoin alone. And I just do DCA every week. I come here and I add some money. I have a few different use a few different exchanges for that, in case one of them goes bonkers or something happens to one of them. I still have the other ones with my Bitcoin. And this is what you can do as well. You can use different exchanges for this. So for instance, this one, I've got this one on Mexi. So what you do, for instance, if you're gonna DCA it depends. If you want to DCA like $50 a week, or $50 or $100 a month, or whatever, or even $200, $2,000, you can do this with the same amount, or even $5 if you wish, $5 or $10. But if you have like $50, or let's say, for simplicity's sake, let's say you have $100. Right here. For instance, if you add $100 per week, yeah. So this is what you do. You go on you multiply 100 by 3. Normally I use like 3x leverage. You know, don't use like this is why I'm saying, you know, I will come to that in a second. But for instance, you know, 100 times 3 was 300, and this is what you do. Then you come here, check the price of Bitcoin. What's the price of Bitcoin? 59,258. So you just round up to 59,000. So we just do 300 divided by 59,000 equals, and this is how much you buy. You know, you can round this up or down a little bit, because in some cases you need to round it up to the nearest round number. And you can just buy 0.005 of Bitcoin, and this is what you do. You know, you come in here with $100. I mean, this is it's pretty simple. For some people this looks like a given, but it took me a long time to realize this. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who don't know this. So for instance, you know, you come with $100, you add $100 every week or every month or whatever. This is just $100, but you can do this with $1,000, with $10, $20. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You can do the same thing. And this is a lot of people, many people they do options, especially like rich people they get like people, they get people to help them out. They call their broker and they just tell them to buy options. But we can't afford to buy options. Personally, I don't like options as well myself, but so a lot of people do like them and people use them. But just you know, for anybody can do this. The 3x leverage, anybody can do this. So if you have, go back to this. So for instance, if you're adding $100 every month or every week, you multiply by 3, which means with $100 you can buy $300 worth of Bitcoin, and you can do this. You can even buy $400 or $500. But the more you add, the more dangerous it gets, you know. But if you're monitoring your positions, you know, I think you're more certainly gonna be safe, you know. So you can buy like $300 worth of Bitcoin, and then this is what you do when you come on the exchange. I've got this one on Maxi. In here I've got 5x leverage, but normally what I do whenever I add my Bitcoin in here, I just multiply by 3, and whatever money I put in here, I'll buy 3 times the amount of it. So what you do here, when it says cross, you can see there's isolated and there's cross. You can add the cross, you know. Whatever you do, don't be trading anything else in here. Just buy a Bitcoin and hold it there. Don't be doing any daily time trading on this particular exchange where you have your Bitcoin. And then I've got 5x, but you can just move down to 3x, 4x. The higher the leverage, I think the more percentage you're gonna pay, but it's not a big deal. It's not that much. 4x is the ideal as well. And yeah, that's let's go back here. So for instance, if Bitcoin comes somewhere down here, I don't mind buying at 4x leverage. You know, for instance, if I come here, if Bitcoin comes down here, I've done a little bit over there. So this is what you do. If Bitcoin comes, you know, you can just for instance, Bitcoin is at 49. Just go back to this, and this is pretty simple. So if I'm adding $100 of Bitcoin, $100 of Bitcoin times 4 equals $400. So I will deposit $100 and I buy $400 worth of Bitcoin at 4x leverage. 4x. This is why, you know, people say if leverage is bad, it's crazy and everything, because obviously if you come here and you trade 10x, 20x, 100x, some people trade up to 100x with leverage. You know, you can do that for day trading, but not for a long time. You know, you can't do that in long-term holdings. But this is fairly safe. I know a lot of people who do this with the Solana, other tokens as well. You can do that. Solana is a bit more dangerous because Solana can drop as much as 50%. You know, Bitcoin doesn't necessarily drop. Where it can, it's not impossible, but it's there's ways to do that. For instance, if you see the chart of Bitcoin is dropping too much, there's a big collapse, then you can add a bit more funds to your account, and this is going to be your liquidation point. You know, normally if you add a 4x, your liquidation point will be down at 25%. So if Bitcoin drops down by 25%, you will be liquidated. But always have some money on the side so you don't get liquidated. And if it does go down a little bit, just take that as a good opportunity and add a bit more money into your positions as well. And this is what I do. Like, this is a nice it looks scary, obviously it looks very scary when the price is coming down, but these are the best times to buy. And these are, you see people down here, this is why they don't give you time to buy unless you are present in the charts, because these moves are quite quick. They happen really quickly. Sometimes, you know, it can happen within a couple of hours. Sometimes it can happen, you know, like in the space of 1 hour. So because a lot of people, they have limit orders down here, so when price comes down, it just triggers their order and then off they go. And like I said, you know, there's a lot of people doing this, but it took me a long time to realize this. I don't know why, because mainly I just came from like trading forex markets, you know, index markets and gold as well. Just another quick example, say for instance, if you DCA to $100 and you're using like 3x leverage, so you can just multiply 200 by 3, 600. You can buy $600 worth of Bitcoin with your $200. You can certainly buy a bit more or less, but this would be the ideal. And so what you do, get your calculator, you divide 600 by 59,195. In this case, you can just add the 59 to a round number. So I divide 600 by 59,000, and that equals. And this will tell you the amount of Bitcoin you can buy. Just you round it to the nearest round number, 0.01 of Bitcoin. So when you go on your exchange, you can see here the leverage here is set to 100x leverage. So don't do this. You can set your leverage down here, set it to, normally I just set it to 4x leverage, and then use cross, not isolated, use cross over there. And then what you do, what did the calculator say? 0.01. Ignore these small numbers down here. 0.01. So this is where the 0.01. You can add a limit order. Over here where it says limit, you can add a limit and you can put the price down there. Enter the price. Or you can just set a market order and press buy, and then you buy this amount of Bitcoin. And this is what you do. So going back to here, as you can see, this is like basic primary school maths. You don't need to be a master mathematician in order to work this out. And same thing, this is why it's very flexible when you're doing DCA with low leverage. Same thing again. For instance, if you enter $200 and if you want to enter a forex leverage, say Bitcoin is down here, down the bottom, and you want to use the forex leverage, this is what you do. Multiply 200 by 4 times 4 equals 800. Okay, calculate it out. Again, 800 divided by, what's the price of Bitcoin? 59,196. So I just put 59. 800 divided by 59,123 equals 0.013. Then you go to your broker, same thing. This is what you do, 0.13, and that's how you're gonna buy your Bitcoin. Like, another thing is, if you deposit $100 and your leverage is 4x, you don't have to come here and buy $400 worth of Bitcoin every single time. You can come in here, you can buy like let's say $300 to 100, or as much or as little as you like. There's no pressure to come here. Just because your leverage is 4x and you deposit 100 doesn't mean you have to buy the full $400 every single time. And this will be crucial for you not to get liquidated as well. For instance, if you DCA like $500, your leverage is like 4x leverage, yeah. You don't have to come here and buy 2,000. You can, you can buy $2,000 worth of Bitcoin, but you don't necessarily have to buy the full 2,000 just because your leverage is 4x and you're depositing $500. You can come here and you can buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. You can just buy the 500. And even if you have, this is another thing, people saying that leverage is crazy and leverage is bad, but like I said, if you deposit $500, you have 400x leverage. Not 400. 4x leverage. You deposited 500, but if you just buying $500 worth of Bitcoin, you're never gonna get liquidated. Bitcoin needs to go to absolute zero for you to lose all the money. Now, obviously that can happen, God forbid. But this is what I'm saying. If you educate yourself properly on leverage, there's no reason not to take advantage of this. Because leverage is created for. Obviously, a lot of people say the leverage is extremely bad. A lot of people come here, everybody that trades with leverage loses money. So it's not true. But if you use leverage in a educated manner, you can certainly take advantage of these moves, and like I said, if Bitcoin goes up 2x, you're not gonna make life-changing money with the Bitcoin going up 2x. Right now we're at the middle of the bull market. So if you bought Bitcoin all the way down here to 16k and you bought loads of it, you're gonna be okay. But right now we're like halfway through the bull market. Most likely Bitcoin can go like to 150 to 100. Some say the Bitcoin is gonna go up to 1 million. I don't think that it's gonna happen, not in this bull run, maybe in a few years from now. But in order to take advantage of these moves, we can use leverage in a controlled manner. It doesn't necessarily to be like a Degen way or something like that. For instance, if Bitcoin is up there, top of the range, this is the range. if Bitcoin is at the top of the range and you deposited in, for instance, if you deposit like $100, yeah, $100, and even if you have 4x leverage, just buy $200 worth of Bitcoin. Don't go buying like $400 worth of Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin goes down 25%, you're gonna get liquidated. Well, if you buy smaller amounts up there, when it's more dangerous, but just keep DCA. Don't, because you can never know when Bitcoin is gonna start moving up, you know. So when we say DCA, says dollar cost averaging, meaning you just buy, don't look at the price, just keep on buying. Doesn't matter what the price is, you know, just keep on buying, you know. Add whatever you like, you can every week or every month. I'd say preferably every week if you can. Use like low leverage. If Bitcoin is at the bottom of the range, this is where you can go full 4x leverage. For instance, if Bitcoin is down here at the bottom of the range, and you depositing, for instance, you say you deposit $200, Bitcoin is at the bottom of the range, you got 4x leverage, you can certainly buy $800 worth of Bitcoin with your $200, because in here you're going to be much safer. Another thing is, you know, always keep some money on the side just in case. For instance, you know, if the markets go even lower, always keep some money on the side just in case. Well, this is the safest way to invest in crypto, because as I was saying before, you know, this when Bitcoin goes down, and remember this, you know, I'm going to repeat this again because this is extremely important. Somebody told me this before as well. When Bitcoin goes up, 30% of the coins go up, 30%. Well, when Bitcoin goes down, I'll tell you, 100% of the coins go down. But it might be the occasional troop here and there that's gonna go up a little bit when Bitcoin is collapsing. Well, in the end, when Bitcoin is collapsing, everything is gonna go down. And this is another thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you here. And I wish somebody told me this as well. You know, I keep saying this, but this is the truth. You know. So let's say here, for instance, Bitcoin is up and running. Bitcoin is doing this, and you bought some altcoins in here. They're not doing anything, and this happened to me as well. And if you've been in Bitcoin in cryptocurrencies long enough, this would have happened to you as well. Your coin is doing this, and Bitcoin is going up like that, beautiful. And your coin is not doing anything, and you're here like, wow, when altcoin sees and all this and that, you know, it's not happening. So when Bitcoin collapses, not if, but when Bitcoin begins collapsing or pulling back, maybe let's say 10-20%, just because your coin didn't go up, your coin will go down even more. It doesn't matter. They will always find a way to send your coin even lower. You think you bought the low like a boss and you're doing extremely well, Bitcoin is going to pull back, your coin is going to go down even lower. Some of them as much as 80%. You know, during a bull market, you see coins going down as much as 90%, never mind 80%. This is why, you know, the safest bet is on Bitcoin. You know, you buy some altcoins. I'm not saying not to buy altcoins. Personally, I just have Jupiter and meme coins. You know, like 40% of my money is on Bitcoin, and it's probably going to be even more than that. I don't buy any more altcoins. I bought like at one point I used to have like as much as 60 altcoins in my portfolio. I mean, I've been burned badly. I made some money on altcoins. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but you know, eventually most of the money I made I lost because I was always waiting for the bull run. You know, the big altcoin season that everybody talks about, big altcoin season. It's not. It will happen, but you know, by the time it happens, a lot of people will be out of bullets. You know. This is why I'm saying, you know, the safest strategy is just DCA with low leverage on Bitcoin. Personally, that's what I do. Then my other portfolio, I just work with meme coins right now. And then the reason I do meme coins is because people come to cryptocurrencies to make large moves. Doesn't matter if it's 100x or if it's 10x, if it's 20x. People come to cryptocurrencies for this, parabolic moves. Nobody's coming to crypto, and the altcoins, they're many of them not doing this. You know, for you to catch one of them, it's extremely difficult. You know, it might happen in the future, where maybe in 2025. You know, well, the reason, and you know this, you know, you don't come to crypto markets for this. Nobody comes to crypto markets for this. People come for this. You know, this, boom, boom, boom. People come for these large moves. You know. And then it's just gonna happen on meme coins. You know, I've seen it happening on meme coins. You know, when we get like a proper, right now meme coins are stagnating. They're not doing much. You know, Well, when a meme coin, and this is what I'm gonna show again. When for instance, when Bitcoin begins moving crazy, because Bitcoin begins doing these moves, and people think, you know, meme coins are not doing anything, you know, they're just this is off the topic of Bitcoin. Well, and this is why the reason why I invest in meme, buy meme, not necessarily invest, I just buy meme coins, because when Bitcoin starts doing these moves like this, when Bitcoin starts doing these moves, it's just, you know, it's just inevitable, you know, the meme coins are gonna start like going up, you know, you're gonna have meme coins going crazy. From here, this was in May, from here to here, I'm gonna show up, this was the month of May, yeah. Excuse me. From here to here, I've trebled my meme coin account. From this move to here, I've trebled my meme coin account. Then I took some losses in here. In here I made a nice recovery. Then in here I'm still, see my meme coin, I'm still well in profits, but this is nothing. This is the ones I saw these moves, but I wasn't necessarily here. I was buying altcoins and I was getting burned, you know. And I saw the guys buying meme coins, they were making tons of money over here. Because why? Because when Bitcoin starts going crazy like this is like a proper meme coin season, top of the market, like in March. This was one of the best meme coin seasons I've seen, and this is gonna happen again. But what happens is, you know, people think meme coins are dead. Well, what happens is, you know, we need, once Bitcoin breaks this out, breaks out of here, then we're gonna start seeing, it's just like it's gonna be a gravitational pull, you know, it's just inevitable, you know. The meme coins are gonna start doing well, and those buying meme coins are 100k caps and things like that, with good communities, they're gonna be the ones, you know, counting the money later on, you know. This is why, you know, my favorite markets are these, the Bitcoin market, because, you know, the Bitcoin market dictates everything on the market, you know. And the meme coins, because meme coins, you know, they have like a fairly low market caps compared to altcoins. I could tell you why I don't like, you know, why I don't buy altcoins anymore, but I might just make a video in the future explaining people why I don't even like altcoins anymore, and meme coins are more appealing to me right now. Might change in the future, but momentarily, you know, meme coins, they're more appealing to me. And I've been an investor. I bought like in time I bought like probably over 200 altcoins in the past, so I've got a lot of experience in this, believe me. But just going back to this is what I'm saying. And I'm gonna end this video in a minute. Going back to this is where you wish you had bought Bitcoin. Imagine you're coming down here and you're buying like 2 or 3x leverage down here, and you're accumulating. For instance, you accumulate over here, for instance, from trough to peak, this is what 2.8x. It's not that much, you see. If you came here and you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin or $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, you'd be making what, like $15,000 with $1,000 initial, yeah. But if you use low amount of leverage and you use $5,000, you could be making as much as God knows, boy. It depends, you know, how much. If you control it and you just do your DCA, in the end you would end up buying more than $5,000. It's just gonna take your emotion aside. And believe me, you know, this is another thing, you know, when you start seeing these green candles, go back on the weekly. Look, when you start seeing these green candles going up, and I've seen this a lot, I was like, you know, why didn't I buy Bitcoin? Every time I kept saying to myself, why didn't I buy Bitcoin, you know? And like I said, you know, Bitcoin is doing like these moves, you know. If you have even if you bought like a few $100s worth of Bitcoin, it's not going to be life-changing money. But I was thinking, you know, how can I take advantage of these large moves without being risky, you know, without like risking a lot of money, you know? And I was thinking, you know, this is why you're gonna wish you were into Bitcoin, because in many cases you're gonna be buying your shit coin or whatever, and he's gonna be doing that, just ranging, doing nothing, you know. You're gonna have Alex Becker speaking about your coin, you know, thinking it's gonna go up. There's gonna be like a small pump like this, and then, you know, it's gonna go down. It's gonna dump again, because Alex Becker, whenever he speaks about coin, it takes a little. I've seen him, you know. This is another thing. Whenever he speaks about coin on his YouTube videos, It used to happen before, not so much right now because nobody even buys these coins at the moment. It could happen in the future, but I've learned a lot. I've learned many things with Alex Becker, so he's not a bad guy overall. But whenever he speaks about an altcoin, a game coin or whatever, it does a big pump, and then it's just like it's worse than a meme coin, and it collapses right down on the same day or the day after. So. And this is why I said the Bitcoin moves, they're more sustainable. Some people can do this on Ethereum as well. It's not bad, you know. But I think Ethereum might do well. And I wish I bought Ethereum on the last bull market as well. I did, but no, not a lot. And if you find yourself one or two altcoins that can do this, it's more than enough. Don't buy, I'd say, don't buy 20 altcoins, don't buy 30, I used to buy like my altcoins like crazy, thinking I was going to find a coin that's going to replicate this, but it's just difficult. I've never made life-changing money because, you know, I just kept avoiding this chart for the longest time, you know. And this is why I said watch this video a couple of times if you wish. Just try and look for a few strategies how to DCA into Bitcoin using low leverage, you know. And this is essentially how you can do it, you know. Go back on the daily like this, keep adding every week. Just come here and keep adding money to your Bitcoin, you know. Once you, and then another thing, you know, and then I'm gonna end this video. For instance, right now Bitcoin is at 59k. This range in here, this is the one that people think if Bitcoin breaks the all-time high, it's gonna go to Valhalla. It's gonna go more. We're gonna have the big moves again. So what happens now? For instance, if you DCA down here, Bitcoin doesn't move over here. Say lower than this. For instance, you know, because it never goes up on a straight line. So if Bitcoin goes down, then there's a pullback over here somewhere. It goes up to the 80s. Then there's a pullback over here. You, with the same money, you can increase your leverage and buy more Bitcoin. You just look into that as well. You know, I'm not gonna overwhelm you with too much information on this video, but this is something you can do. For instance, if Bitcoin goes up there and starts ranging, you think, you know, it's not gonna come down here anytime soon. So what you can do, you can increase your leverage to say like 8x. And then you can, with the same money, you can increase your position as well, you know. And this is how you're gonna make life-changing money, you know. Like I said, nothing is ever that risk, but when it comes to cryptocurrencies, this is the least riskiest of them all. Because if Bitcoin goes up, I'm not saying everything. If when Bitcoin goes up, 30% of the coins, and remember, maybe even less than that, you know, maybe 25% of the coins go up, and you have to be one expert in altcoins to know which ones are going up. You know, people spread their money around because some of them obviously they go up in higher percentages, but not all of them. You know, I'd say maybe 25% of the coins, they will go up considerably. But if Bitcoin goes down, I tell you, man, you know, 100% of these coins will go down. If your coin is just been ranging there doing nothing, and Bitcoin starts all of a sudden starts going down, your coin is gonna go down even more. So this is why I said, you know, the least riskiest strategy with the highest potential of making life-changing money is this one. Ignore everybody telling you online, buy this coin, buy the other coin. I've done that, you know, following these guys on YouTube telling me which coin to buy, which coin not to buy. Believe me, I've subscribed on my YouTube channel. I'm subscribed to maybe over 200 people from cryptocurrencies, but I'm just gonna start unsubscribing to most of them and just keep a few of them. And yeah, but that's it for now. And just yeah, like I said, you know, if you agree with me, yeah, well, if you don't agree, just let me know why, and if you have a better strategy, just let me know. Speak soon.